Hi everyone, welcome back to Visually Hidden Selects. I'm Peter O'Brien and today I would like to talk to you about Raising Arizona from 1987, written, produced, and directed by Joel and Ethan Coen, and starring Nicolas Cage, Holly Hunter, John Goodman, William Forsythe, and Randall Cobb. This is the Coen Brothers' second feature film after 1984's Blood Simple, and this one really helped establish the other side of the Coen Brothers' filmography. They basically do two different kinds of films. They either do a very hard drama like Blood Simple, or No Country for Old Men, or Fargo, or they do kind of a very still crime-oriented story for the most part, but it's a little bit more lighthearted, and there are some very eclectic and zany characters like Raising Arizona, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, The Big Lebowski, to name a few. So this is really kind of showing the other side of the coin for them as creative filmmakers and storytellers. The basic premise for the film follows an aspiring outlaw who, after several stints in prison, develops a relationship with the police booking officer. And after his final incarceration, he decides to turn his life around and proposes marriage. But when they find out that they can't bear children, his past creeps into her present, which defines their future. And for a lighthearted comedy, Raising Arizona really is a very rich story that deals with themes of redemption, inner demons, and basically good versus bad. This is probably the ultimate opposites attract fairy tale. This film also really kind of helped establish the Coen Brothers' voice as storytellers. Hi, in Raising Arizona, he's really their first on-screen narrator. They utilized narrators again in films like Hudsucker Proxy and even The Big Lebowski, but the narration isn't the be-all end-all of the storytelling that's in play here. It's also their characters, the settings, and specifically the situation that drives the narrative voice that's going on in their films. This is also the first time they really introduced a sense of mystery and interpretation into their narration and into their cinematic voice. A lot of their other films, if you look at them, they tend to leave a trail of breadcrumbs for the audience that may or may not connect in some way, shape, or form, but it's there and it doesn't detract from the film or the story. It really just adds to it and is something that you can take with you after the film is over. The Coen brothers also reunited with Barry Sonnenfeld, who was the director of photography on Blood Simple. He also shot this film, as well as Miller's Crossing, before moving on to his own directing career. And Carter Burwell also did the music for this film as well, which is a completely different direction than his score for Blood Simple. And like most of their other films, there's a very minimal score, but it's very effective and it's utilized exceptionally well throughout the entire film. It's really just a handful of pieces and a very significant main theme that ties this film together musically. I think my favorite part of this movie, though, really is the opening. The first 11 minutes are narrated by Nicolas Cage's character, H.I. McDonough, from when he first meets the character Ed, played by Holly Hunter, and you just see their whole story develop in 11 minutes. It's very efficient storytelling, and I think my second favorite part of this film, though, has to be the foot chase that ensues about halfway through the film when Hi has a little relapse in character. It's just a very exciting scene. It's a very engaging scene. It is, again, very well executed, and it introduces all of these little elements. It's almost like a little visual tapestry of chaos that is presented to the audience right in the middle of the film, and it's also sort of a turning point for Hi and Ed in terms of their relationship. And like many other Coen Brothers films, this one just has a minefield of personalities that make up the characters in the supporting cast, starting off with John Goodman and William Forsythe as Hi's prison buddies, Gale and Ethel Snokes. They just have a really strong presence, and really it's primarily John Goodman. I mean, William Forsythe is doing a great job, but when it comes to those two, John Goodman is really running the show. He is the mastermind behind their actions, and even though he's doing bad things, you still love him. He's still enjoyable because he's got that charm, he's got that charisma, and he has that kind of almost gentle, innocent bravado, and I think primarily because he has such a baby face. Even though he's rocking the mutton chops. And William Forsythe, he also is just a clean-shaven, baby-face looking kid. Even though he had already done a lot of significant work in this film, he just falls into this character so hard and so strong that with all of the unbelievable qualities in this film, it's very believable through the characters. But I think the main character actor in this film, the kind of driving force, literally, is Randall Tex Cobb as the biker. And he's a very mysterious character. We don't necessarily get a lot of information about him, and the information we do get about him is not entirely flattering, but he's clearly the antagonist for High. I mean, High is haunted by this character, and at first, we're not even sure if he's real or not, if he's a phantom or what, because he's introduced in High's dreams. But throughout the course of the film, he most certainly is established as a real character that becomes a real threat to High and Ed in their journey with Nathan Jr. But the real star in this film is, of course, Nicolas Cage. He's the main character, he's the narrator, he's the one telling us this story, and he's the one who we're experiencing this story through. And honestly, this is probably, in my opinion, his best film for a number of different reasons. And the thing that is the craziest part about that sentence is he was only 22 when he made this film. And you watch it and you can't think of him as a 22-year-old when you're seeing this film, which again is just a credit to him as a performer and as an actor, but also the Coens as the filmmakers and as the storytellers. You know, they saw something in Nicolas Cage that they thought was right for the character, and how they reeled him in. You know, when they write their scripts, that's it. There isn't really a whole lot of improvisation or character development after the fact when they're filming. So anything Nicolas Cage wanted to bring to the film was kind of checked at the door by the Coen Brothers and their just quality control of their storytelling. But it really works in this case. You know, Nicolas Cage does a great job. He's believable, he's likable, even though he's incredibly flawed. You know, his character comes across as sincere in all of his actions. And of course, the other side of High is Ed. And Holly Hunter is just so great in this film. I love her character, I love her personality, and I love the arc of her character where she goes from this upright police officer to this criminal. And that's just a really interesting dynamic for a character to explore throughout the film. And Holly Hunter is really kind of like the heart and the backbone of this film because she is supporting High in all of his motivations and all of his actions. This really is my personal favorite of the Coen Brothers filmography, though. It really just inches out The Big Lebowski by maybe a hair, and probably because this was the first one I saw, and so it was my introduction to their world as storytellers, as filmmakers, and I just love the characters and I love the performances, and it is such an off-the-wall story. It is so unique and it is told so well that, again, even with all of the craziness and zaniness, you never once question it when you're on the ride. So that's it for Raising Arizona. I really hope you like this recommendation, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future selections. If you do check out Raising Arizona, please leave us a comment and let us know what you think of the film. We will be discussing it extensively on the next Visually Hidden Selects podcast, so be sure to tune into that. And until next time, see ya!